Not a huge fan of PPC software, right? PPC Entourage and PPC Scope are two of the main ones. PPC Scope's founder is actually in our student group, Brian. He's a great guy. He knows a ton about PPC, right? But in my personal experience, as of now, they still haven't reached the necessary maturity level for how comfortable I feel in Excel to really make it worth the price to me yet. That being said, I hope and I think that they probably will be eventually, and I'd love to move over to an automated system, right? um, if you can afford the PPC systems and you're willing to put the time into kind of learning them, right? Because there is somewhat of a learning curve, then it's definitely a good way to save you time, especially if you have a ton of different products, a ton of different campaigns, a ton of different private labels, right? So if you do want to go down the path of software, then I give you an exact walkthrough of how to do it, right? I've done this many times in the past, but just to kind of show everyone, so it doesn't have to only apply to the people who can afford to buy this software, because when you are a seller on Amazon, it's going to add up quick, right? You're going to need Jungle Scout, you're going to need email follow-up, right? You're going to need keyword searching tools, right? And so it kind of starts to add up when you're subscribing to 10 different software platforms. So I'm going to show you how to do this same thing for free, right? A little bit more in depth. We talked about it a tiny bit earlier, but it comes from what we mentioned in the earlier modules, the low bid keyword campaigns, right? So when we do this, and when we do it with a ton of different words, we start to stack up a huge amount of exact customer search terms, right? So the keyword that we put in here is in column D, right under keyword. When there's an asterisk, it means that the keyword is exactly the same as the customer search term. When there's no asterisk, it means that the keyword in the broad column, grand, associated with the exact customer search term, you put the grand in grandma, right? And so as you can see, these ACoS are absolutely insane. All of them are under 2%. You're going to be able to find those for your own products and your own niches using the methods I talked about in the earlier section, right? But what you want to do here, guys, is you want to buy product, right? So this is why it's important, right? And I've hidden the A and B column, but they tell you, what the name of the campaign is, what the name of the product is, right? When you start to have multiple products, it gets a little bit more complex, but that's why you want to really put in the time to properly name your ad sets and properly name your campaigns, right? Excuse me. So what we do here is for each product, right, we'd sort by product, and then we'd take all of these exact match keywords, right, and we'd head into Seller Central, and we'd make a phrase match or exact match, right? I like to use phrase match because it even still gives you a few more different options, right? So let's say you put the grand and grandma as a phrase match, right? So if we did that instead of exact match, if someone typed in you put the grand in grandma 2017, we'd still get the impression for that word. And if we made a sale, then the next time we ran our search report, this would be the keyword, right? And then the customer search term that matched to that broad keyword would be you put the grand in grandma 2017. Right? So I think you understand kind of like the power of using phrase match, the power of playing around with exact match, because it's going to give you more seed keywords, and it's going to give you further iterations to even further kind of hone down and create the most targeted campaigns possible, right? And so once you kind of set up these search terms, these exact customer search terms as phrase match campaigns, you can kind of down the line in 2 weeks or a month check again, right? Then these exact customer search terms will now be the keywords that you wrote in your campaigns, and then there'll be new customer search terms to continue to iterate and do the same thing with, and find hundreds if not thousands of keywords, guys. It's an iterative process, PPC. You will get better and better at it, right? And if you use these exact methods, you're going to get a ton of super low cost sales, and more importantly, you're going to be able to figure out what those super long tailed specific keywords that convert for your product are, and then you're going to be able to use them and create very profitable campaigns.